if the physical world and the digital world were to have a baby, it would be me. In fact, it is me, and it's you, and it's you. I see my dad out there. I know it's him. See you trying to hide the phone that they asked you to turn off. So, anyways, what I'm here today to talk about is I'm not a doctor. This isn't a medical talk. But I'm here to talk about a virus that I believe that we're all susceptible to. And I think that 99% of you, if not 100% of you, suffer with it today. And for those with the blackberries, you're still the fetus. What I'm referring to is the heads down epidemic. And if you see this photo here, it's what I see on a daily basis. And we've been given this information at light speed, anytime we want it, anywhere we want it. And we haven't really had any etiquette courses on it. We've been given information at the palm of our hands. Notice how I said palm of our hands. We're distracted on a daily basis, and we're trying to find ways to be distracted. I'm thinking to myself, oh, should I Facebook this? Should I tweet it? Should I Instagram it? And then we're just flooded with all this information. And anyways, like I said, we haven't been trained and haven't been given any etiquette courses. In fact, I was at a restaurant the other night, and I saw a family sitting there. It was a family of 5 around a table. Everybody's heads were down. I was like, oh, they're all praying. That's awesome. Like, this is a wholesome act that they're all taking part in. Then I looked closer and realized that they were all on their phones, and I thought, man, this is wrong. I wondered what they had to be doing on their phones that they couldn't sit across the table and be actually conversing. Then I thought, maybe they're texting God. And so I was a little at ease at that point. So with all this etiquette and these issues that, I kind of find and where we're at, I have to believe we're in the infancy stage of this technology, the software, these devices. We've been given them, and we haven't really been taught appropriate or the inappropriate ways to use them. So I believe there's a future, and a future where our heads come back up. And before I go into that, I want to take you back into history real quick. Alexander Graham Bell, he is widely accredited for releasing the first telephone, and many of you may know that, and some of you may remember it. I wasn't there, though, but I was there when Steve Jobs announced the first iPhone. And I remember the crowds gawking and the people just praising this invention. And within that past 5 years, we have been given this influx of devices and software and information at the palm of our hands at any given time. So we can all admit, looking back on Alexander Graham Bell's first implementation of the telephone, that it wasn't the perfect way to send or receive information. But it did spark a wave of innovation and a wave of research and development in telecommunications. And it led to this moment, the iPhone, which I believe is really the reset button on telecommunications software and these mobile devices. I think that we've hit the reset button. Problem is that a lot of people are continuing to try to create or recreate the exact same thing as the iPhone. And that's where I think that they have it wrong. I believe that our heads are going to come up, and the answer already lies in front of us, and we've been seeing it in film. If you look at science fiction, you've already been exposed to it. If you've seen any of the Iron Man films, Minority Report, or any of the Terminator movies, you've already seen and been exposed to this idea. So you're probably laughing at me for saying, oh, science fiction is going to prove this. Well, yeah, I believe science fiction is this reality, and it is the future. And we can look at current examples today. Google recently announced Google Glass, and what they're already doing is identifying this problem that when we're looking down, we're not focusing on the world around us. We're not making eye contact with one another. We're not living in that moment. We're more focused on how do we get something across from one device to another or whatever, and it's really the wrong way to do it. So it's not just Google Glass that's going to bring our heads up. I'm already wearing something on my wrist that tracks my steps every day, and it tracks my sleep at night. I believe that we're going to have software and devices that are communicating and effortlessly tracking what we do on a daily basis. And I believe that we're going to be able to communicate with one another socially and be able to tell each other, how we're doing on our dieting, or how we'll be able to one day walk into a doctor's office. I want you to imagine this. Walking into a doctor's office, and before he or she has ever met you, they already know what's going on. And you can opt in on giving that information over to them or opt out. That's where, the security industry is going to be huge in all this. But for the mothers out there, I want you to imagine walking into a grocery store. Your kitchen, your refrigerator tracks what you have and what you don't have. Your list is made for you. You walk into a grocery store, and you're given a heads-up map through the grocery store on where to go, what aisle to go to grab this, and it'll remind you, you've forgotten that you don't have any more milk, or it'll remind you, you need toilet paper. I need a lot of that. And on top of this, I want to go back to the medical idea. Someday we'll be able to take a pill that will track our blood work, track how our organs are operating, and track how our bodily functions are working. And we'll have less visits to the doctor because we'll be able to share that information with them, and they'll tell us exactly, if we're healthy, and they'll have detailed understanding and analytics on that. So really, I see this place that we've come from in the past. I see that we were once at the infancy stage in the telephone, and it took us getting to the iPhone to we passed the adult stage, and we've died and become this phoenix that's about to come out of the ashes. But the reality is we all have our own issues to struggle with, and you have a choice today to just leave your iPhone here and walk out without it, but I'm assuming you're not going to do that. You're going to have to take part in this, and you're going to have to adapt it. We're all going to become more dependent on these devices and more dependent on software, but I'm imagining a bright future, a future where I can fix my own car and not have to take it to the mechanic because I'll have heads-up instructions and visual error logs teaching me how to do it. I imagine a day where I'm going to be able to walk into a room and look at somebody I haven't seen in 3 years in the eyes, and they're going to remember my name, and I'm going to remember theirs, and it's going to have the 3 bullet points and the 3 talking points that we spoke about the last time we met. So I wanted to bring you all into this, and I wanted to expose you to this and let you all know that there is a future where we won't have to deal with this, and many of you just want to get rid of these. And last night I spoke to a friend, and he asked, why are you doing this talk? Why is it? And I said, it's because I hate the fact that I'm looking for excuses to look down. I hate the fact that I'm thinking, man, should I Facebook this? And I hate the fact that I'm thinking, should I tweet it? When in all reality, someday, things are going to do that for me. My technology is going to do it for me, and I won't be having to think about that. I'll be actually thinking about having a legitimate conversation face-to-face with you. So I welcome you to that future, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you.